Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Tuesday morning. It's June the 7th, 2022. The man they call Meathead, the Matthew Thomas of Matthew Thomas's. Well, Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew. How you doing?
I'm great. We're already a week into June. Can you believe that?
You know what we're getting close to? It's not there yet, but you know what we're getting close to? I feel there's some mini cheeseburgers that are within reach.
Goodness.
Can you believe that? I mean, you're not thinking, what do we get into? Here we are in June. We got to be only about 6 or 7 weeks away from the mini cheeseburgers. Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So, I think your tradition, I don't know if it necessarily has been in the past, but I think it needs to become you eat a mini cheeseburger for every gear you turn.
I don't think I could do that many.
I think you could.
I mean, if it was like doing 21 when I was 21, easy. If it was doing 30 when I was 30, like an ESPN special, I could do some White Castle sliders. But I don't know, dude. The older you get, the less sliders I'll be eating.
So let me ask you this question. Nobody's ever been able to give me this answer. Was 30 for 30 supposed to stop at 30? Were they only supposed to produce 30 and they just got carried away?
Sounds like you need to reach out to Stamford, Connecticut and figure out that answer.
Yeah, I'll write them a letter.
All right, but while you're writing that letter, and you're not going to be sitting there without a shirt on, what are you going to be wearing?
Well, you know what? I might very well be sitting there without a shirt on because I would not want to get any ink from my quill on my wonderful collar and elbow gear that's available exclusively at collarandelbowbrand.com. If you enter promo code Linda K, they're going to hook you up with a little nice 10% off, save you a little bit of that tender, if you will, so you can use to, do whatever you want to with it. But check out the new gear at collarandelbowbrand.com, including their brand new re-release, Don't Trust Anybody. Well, you can trust the folks at Collar and Elbow Brand.
There you go. You can trust the man they call Meathead and Matthew Thomas to give you a little bit of wrestling news here. Let's start off with the rumored Bray Wyatt returns that were going on all throughout the weekend. That actually bumped up ticket sales at the event Hell in a Cell in Chicago. Now, he did not appear. However, there is talk that Bray Wyatt is very close to a return.
I think everybody's ready for it. I guess the real question becomes, what incarnation are we going to see? Are we going to see Bray? Are we going to see The Fiend? Are we going to see
Husky Harris
talk show? Yeah. Man, I was thinking about that last night. I really want to see just Bray in his sweater and his playhouse.
The reason that this has been rumored, and it could be nothing to it at all, right? But he changed his name from Rotunda to Wyatt 6 on Twitter. And he made several references to WWE release last July. He also preached patience while preparing his Fireflies for his inevitable comeback. Now, Medusa tweeted out on Sunday, if Bray Wyatt returns, if The Fiend returns to Hell in a Cell, she will do 100 squats live.
I think we need to make that pledge as well too. We need to double it up. We'll do 101.
Well, you can do 100. I'll do 1.
I guess it's already happened, so we can't necessarily retroactively make that pledge. But he's been gone for a while, and I think if anything, man, the Cody treatment that we've seen as of late, that might really. And the thing of it is, he never jumped. He never went to a different company. He's just, he went away quintessentially.
Boy, were those talks out there for him to do so, though.
Yeah, but I think that, honestly, the move with Cody, I think, is so smart for not just being in the conversation with AEW roster, but, people who have strayed away from the WWE. So, yeah, I actually, man, I've got faith in them correctly.
Like George Michael.
Like George Michael. I've got faith in them correctly using Bray Wyatt. So we'll see when that happens or, if it happens.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Let's get into Stephanie McMahon and one of the reasons why she moved away from the WWE. There's been talk that she might have been having issues at work. Maybe, performance-wise, it wasn't working out. Maybe the numbers weren't coming in. Really, the main reason I believe, this is theory, not a stat or a news story or a quote, but I believe it was to take time away and be with the family. After Triple H's scare with the cardiac event that he had. Why not? You've done your time. You've made your money in the business. Triple H is still technically working out there. So why not go home and work with the family for a while and be with the kids as they're growing up, as they're, participating in high school sports? There had been talk, though, that there was issues with the live events lower than normal or lower than expected gates. Let's add this one more piece in there. There has been new hirings that have been going on. Remember, we've been talking over the last few years about all the releases that they've had in WWE, including executive office people, talents, up and comers. But they brought in Jeff Jarrett as the senior vice president of live events.
Interesting move. He's definitely, I think at least in my head, it tends to go to Jeff Jarrett in WWE. But my goodness, this was the guy who was running TNA. For a number of years, and he certainly comes by it, and he grew up in the business. So I'm curious as to
Matthew. You heard a promo from JEWF, JARRETT when he came to talking about the Cal hero, and he says, "Cal, you and I have been kind of doing the same thing, and we were right about the same age. Remember that? We saw that at Blizzard Brawl last year. So, yeah. Maybe in 60 years, Cal will be running WWE and be the senior vice president.
It's very possible. And one other thing they have in common, I'm sure at some point, Earl Hebner screwed Jeff Jarrett over.
Good old Earl. Can I put my chicken wings on your plate, Hebner? All right. One more story here before we get into the results from Raw. And this is, I think, really par for the course, and I love this detail. Warner Brothers executives are being told to edit MJF out of any pieces of any promotional, slides or videos or packages or whatever, out of anything AEW.
Yeah, this is how you work in 2022, and I give them credit for trying to go through absolutely every avenue they can to have this stuff hit outlets like ours and have this stuff. Because here's the thing, something that was neglected for a long period of time in booking was these little tidbits of information that's going to get picked up by the professional wrestling journalism industry. And Tony Khan seems to be doing that. That seems to be part of this game of chess that he's playing and doing very well. That in the past, when it's happened within a storyline, it's basically kind of been by happenstance or accident. He is actually, they're doing this right thus far.
All right, let's get into Raw from last night from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Sorry, I had to channel a little Mr. Kennedy there, Mr. Anderson, Ken Kennedy, Kenny.
Hey, there were no mics, but there were a couple of briefcases hanging from the ceiling.
Right. Do you think you would have talked into the briefcase?
My goodness, that'd have been pretty awesome.
I've always enjoyed when Kenny's on a match wherever I've been, because he still does the microphone thing. But if he's not getting a mic dropping down, what he'll do is he'll have somebody stand behind him and lower a mic into his hand. Or if it's, say, Linda Kay, get up on a chair and then lower a mic into his hand.
That's fantastic. You got to work with what you got.
Got to work with what you got. All right. The show started off as it should have.
Yeah.
With Cody Rhodes coming out. You could see him, again, I know that look too well. Just the picture from WWE of his arm folded into his stomach. I'm telling you, I lived that life for a few months where I did not move my arm and my hand stayed right on my stomach, to the point where, if you have a lanyard over your neck and how kind of the badge hangs right in your stomach, that's where my thumb sat. So I could just hold it right there. It was like a sling. So you could see he's in the sling position. Folks, I absolutely love the fact, not to throw out a shout out to another show, but I love the fact that yesterday morning on Busted Open Radio, they had a doctor who's worked with NFL teams, worked with J.J. Watt, operated on Rey Mysterio, talking about exactly what Cody went through and what he's doing. The reason Cody Rhodes was out there Sunday night, because he couldn't hurt it anymore. It was about his pain tolerance. So, while you and I were not disgusted, we were wincing at the fact that he was out there working with this legitimate injury. He was told he couldn't hurt it anymore,
right? And
he can go as far as he can tolerate the pain.
Yeah, we know a little bit more about it now than we did back then. It's, I guess, my concern when the dust settles on this, now that we know pretty much what we know, is the potential precedent that working hurt is the way to get rave reviews. And it was, again, it was a not that he's going to injure himself anymore, but the dude had to have been in a ton of physical pain. And setting the precedent that gets rewarded.
Let me contradict there. Wrestling business, wrestlers work hurt all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the first time that I think the story is being put out there in front with legitimate media that he worked hurt.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So it's, at the end of the day, I mean, this guy more so than anybody in the modern era puts himself through, literally a pec tear, flaming tables, having his head busted open on ramps. Just all sorts of stuff. And, you are concerned for the individual. And I think that's where a lot of people were.
We're also concerned for Cody Rhodes because we've seen the precedent set, using your phrase there. We've seen the precedent set with Cody Rhodes that he will put himself through more pain than he should have to.
Yeah.
He's gone through the flaming tables. He's taken the wicked, ladder bumps, all those other bumps, table bumps. I mean, he's got this big scar on the side of his head from different bumps that he's taken. And Cody's shown to be very emotional in the ring. Let's get to that part right now where Seth Rollins comes out limping his way out to the ring. Cody says, "I don't like you." Seth says, "I don't like you. I respect you. I respect you." Here's a handshake. He says, "You know what? Your daddy would be proud." Cody damn near lost it right there.
Yeah.
Because he brought up his daughter and then he brought up the Dusty stuff. Now, Cody makes his way all the way to the ramp. And here comes Seth again, sledgehammer to the back of the neck. How did you feel that this went down?
The way it should. I mean, the guy's going away. You make somebody else look vicious. I think that serve the effect. And I will talk about this probably in a second, but him leaving the door open to Money in the Bank seemed a little bit strange to me. And maybe Seth closed that door, maybe not.
Yes, but, exactly. Seth closed that door.
But you gotta have somebody get something from this, And I mean, Seth, they worked a great trilogy of matches. Seth went 0-3. Seth, at the end of the day, still looks dangerous. I think you did this about the only way you could.
So before the Seth attack, the door was still open for Cody to show up and try to win Money in the Bank. I didn't want that. Even though I wanted it, I don't want that. I mean, let's not be ridiculous here. The average recovery time for a torn pec is anywhere from 6 months to a year. All right? Come on. Let's be smart about this. I mean, seriously, Cody should have came out last night, done his promo. I'm going to go have surgery. I'll see you guys when I'm healed. That'll get him right in time for Rumble/WrestleMania. Go home, recover, get ready. Not this, farting around trying to be in the Money in the Bank in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So Seth attacking him like that had to happen. Or someone attacking him had to happen. It didn't have to be Seth. I thought that you could have made him a beautiful baby face at that point if he'd have just walked away and had nothing left. That could have been the number one face on Raw while Cody is gone.
No, absolutely. But I think that Cody, a member of Team Nelson Mandela, I mean, I think we pretty much cemented our Rumble winner and our new champion come WrestleMania.
I have to ask you
for a whole bunch of points. Oh yeah.
When it comes to PWR fantasy draft, are you going to eat 6 months of no points out of your slot?
I've got a plan, and I guess you'll just have to see my plan. And
so the plan is to not get any points out of that draft pick slot, and then hope that the Royal Rumble covers.
Well, the other option is, come Money in the Bank. We've got one of those spots where everybody's dead outside the ring, and here comes Cody in a sling.
Dude, here comes Cody in a hospital gown. That's no. If we're booking this,
Cody in a hospital gown, arm in a sling, goes up, takes down the briefcase, and then what we get for the next 6 months
of rehab, holding on to the briefcase.
Is Cody comes on every pay-per-view and says, "Hey guys, especially you at home, Matthew Thomas, here's your appearance point." And then he goes back. I think that's pretty much what we get.
No, we need, for those Office fans, we need Cody to be D'Angelo Vickers after the concussion, coming back, speaking gibberish while he's wearing a hospital gown. Or we need him like Finn from the Star Wars trilogy, leaking all the fluids out of his little body bag there. No, that's the Cody we need, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the win-win for me in this is, I mean, now you got your Money in the Bank winner in Seth Rollins, so all's good, man.
Yeah, Seth Rollins isn't winning Money in the Bank. Let's move on to Becky Lynch and Dana Brooke. I was like, oh, she's the 24/7 champion, and she's getting a shot to go up against Becky Lynch. All right, she's moving up in division. That's nice. She added on a little weight to, the fight as a flyweight now instead of mega cruiserweight or whatever. And here comes the 24/7 people. Oh, Becky's not having it. Oh, Becky wants a 24/7 championship match. This is new. I enjoy this. Okay, this is a little different. Afterwards, a little interference, a little bit of shenanigans with Becky's feet being held down, and Asuka helps Dana Brooke retain the 24/7 championship.
Hey, let Becky and Asuka go into their program, work a non-title program that's going to absolutely deliver us great matches. I'm perfectly fine with this. WWE, their strong suit. When we're talking competition, WWE versus AEW, WWE's strong suit by a long shot is their women's division. Anything they can do to further cement that and further accentuate that, I think is a plus. And this is going in that right direction.
Let me ask you something about the Peacemaker. Do you think that instead of just saying that he's going to show up on June 27th for a Cena month, maybe we should have got a Summer of Cena instead of Summer of Punk?
Oh. It's very possible, but I mean, we're at a point now where, I mean, John Cena is beloved by the bulk of the WWE universe, no matter how vocal they were.
Yeah, he's not. I was going to say they're not Cena haters anymore. They're not booing him when he returns at Madison Square Garden.
Nope, because I mean,
has they finally earned their respect?
It was the U.S. title run in 2015. You can go back and you can listen to our reviews because we were reviewing that at the time. And my goodness, it was that title run there that really started turning Cena in a lot of people's minds.
Actually, I'll tell you what I think really cemented it was the fact that when he started going Hollywood, he said he never forgot wrestling.
Yeah.
And he will come back. He will come work again.
No, absolutely. And, I think something that helped it a few years prior was when you saw this guy in the program with The Rock, stand toe-to-toe with the microphone on The Rock. I think a lot of people got a different glimpse of Cena at that point. So it was a slow and gradual process, but absence does make the heart grow fonder. And now when he comes back, man, he gets a pop, and he's been utilized great, really, in the last handful of years because he's treated as a mega star when he does come back. And I think that, you look at Cena's acting career, I think that has further made people, anytime you go away and you become a big star, I mean, your value it makes your appearances feel a little bit more special. I mean, I think if you had Batista come back at this juncture, the reception would be, off the chain, not like it was in 20.
As long as he doesn't blow a hole in his pants.
Yeah, or whatever that was. But I think that there's a lot of people, a lot of WWE fans, that since Cena has gotten away from the company and you've watched Cena in the movies, you've watched him in Peacemaker, a lot of that still feels like the John Cena that we had. And I think that's created a bit of nostalgia for John Cena. And it's like, I kind of really like this guy.
You know what kind of grew fonder for me was the absence of Maurice's clothes. And I definitely grew fond of Maurice last night on Raw. Holy smokes, the two kids and whatever else she's got going on. She was packing a couple heaters.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of move on from Meathead's reference to growing during TV segments. Let's just move on past that.
Well, let's talk about Riddle's quote. "Hey Randy, I hope you come back soon and look at my stepdad." What? How awkward was that? I mean, I know it's something he's brought up before.
Well, but it's canon, man. You go back and he referenced his stepdad before. So, Riddle's a genius.
To be honest, this segment was better than I thought it would be because Maurice going, my husband has the tiniest balls, the average balls, the biggest balls ever. I thought there was going to be a grapefruit reference to Vince McMahon, but to get the Green Bay crowd to start chanting tiny balls, it was not bad.
Well, everybody's timing was really good. Like the way when Riddle delivered it, you thought he was just going to leave it blank or there was going to be a euphemism or something. You didn't think he was necessarily going to come out with it. And my goodness, Maurice and Miz were both, to the point of the crowd chanting "Prove it." The fact that they got the crowd to chant "Prove it" and Miz's reaction to that, like, this was a really, really, well done segment all around. I mean, and you really got to look at all three of them. I mean, their delivery and their timing, especially Maurice's timing and all this, was just.
No, she's great.
Yeah, it was just fantastic.
Street Profits and the undisputed tag team champions, the Usos, in a challengers contention match, or a championship contenders match, which means the team that's not the champion is going to win. So that way it'll set up a championship match. Blech. Winner by count out, the Street Profits.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see this, you can tell that it's happening because there's lack of depth in a division. We don't have two people to put together to make somebody a number one contender. So we must have the person wrestle the champion. At least, to their credit, at least it was not it was via count out, I believe. It wasn't a decision in the ring. So
no, it was Montez. No, not Montez. It was Angelo Dawkins sliding in at 9.5, and then one of the Usos stuck outside for a count out.
Yes, indeed.
Theory looking like a superstar against Bobby Lashley on the microphone.
Yeah, Theory's got it, man. And we've really seen the diversity of Theory in the last year. The comedy character that he was, in NXT, that he did to just.
He's part of the way, yeah.
Absolutely, and now, I mean, it's still the same base character, but he's changed enough that, I'll watch him and Lashley work a program together.
Absolutely, it should be coming. Boy, oh boy, though, I'll tell you what, we again have Veer against one of the Mysterios.
Yeah, you're just kind of stuck in this. Veer is stuck in the orbit of the Mysterios.
You better watch out. Seth Rollins might take your eye.
Yeah. Interesting promo from Veer, though. He was it didn't seem as stoic as I thought it should be, but.
Yeah. All right, the Judgment Day. We got the countdown clock. It's not the Cody clock anymore. It's the Judgment Day clock now. And they said they're going to announce a fourth member. We had thought, with friends of ours in Green Bay in attendance, maybe it was going to be one of our friends. It wasn't. The Judgment Day added a new member. Here comes Edge. Here comes Rhea. Here comes Damian. The new member, Finn Balor. Wow. I thought Finn Balor and AJ might do something with the club. AJ Styles nowhere to be found, by the way. But here's the mega twist. Damian on the mic again says, we only have one more bit of weakness to shed, and it's you, Edge. And he beat the crap out of Edge. Boy, oh boy, I love this turn, and I love the Judgment Day.
One of the purest swerves that I think we've seen in the professional wrestling industry in quite a while. Nobody saw this coming. This was not speculated. This was a genuine surprise. Thankfully, I was able to catch this live. So, I saw it as it was happening, and my goodness, I was quite surprised by this. They did a great job with this. The visual with the Judgment Day with Edge was fantastic, and now I think that you've got another great visual. I mean, Balor right there in the center. Balor leading the stable.
Wait, who says Balor's leading?
I think it's Balor's stable, man.
No, that's Damian Priest's stable.
We'll see how it plays out, man. I think it's Balor's stable.
I mean, if you're going to go by like lineage or by accomplishments, Balor's the first ever Universal Champion. Damian Priest has been a United States champion. Rhea's been a women's champion. So
yeah, here's the thing though, and where I want to see it play out. I mean, the thing with Edge as the leader. Edge's mic skills are second to none. Priests are getting better. I'm curious.
He's going to be the best talker out of the three now.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. So I hope once we get several weeks down the road that we are still as captivated by this, because I think in order for this to work, you've got to have somebody with an excellent delivery on the mic. I love the people in it. I like the way they look aesthetically. I just hope they can take that baton and run with it, because that's a really big baton. Edge. They gotta take Edge's large baton his above average size baton in their hand and then run with it.
Yeah, Edge got, not only did he get the broken piece of the chair in the, what did they call that? The Belfast Smile or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got the concerto. Ezekiel wrestled Otis with Chad Gable. Ezekiel wins, and he wants a rematch with Kevin Owens. Kevin only says, if you admit your lies. Okay, sure, I'm Elias. I gotcha. Oh, I lied. That wasn't that good, but it was fun.
Here's what I really want to see. I really want to see Bray Wyatt come back as Elias. That's the solution to all of this.
So Bray Wyatt coming back as Husky Harris, and then him going after Kevin Owens and going, "You're Bray Wyatt." No, man, I'm Husky.
Hey, man, that would work too. You know, like if this is just what if this is just a complete reset, one by one, of the WWE universe? I think there's a ton of potential here.
Let's go to the main event, and I got bones to pick here. I got a lot of bones to pick. Fatal four-way match, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Nikki ASH on the outside, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, a fatal four-way. Matthew Thomas, what in the wide world of sports is going on in a fatal four-way when 80% of the match only has two people in the ring?
Yeah, like we talked about in our review of the pay-per-view, where I thought you told a really good story with the three combatants.
Becky, Asuka, and Bianca.
This resembled a lot more of your traditional multi-person match where, two people disappear and two people work inside the ring.
Those stupid Royal Rumble spots.
Yeah. But I will here's what I did like about it. I'll give WWE credit here. Bianca retained over Asuka and over Becky. So quintessentially, they're going to their own program, but, storyline purposes, they drop to the back of the line. So they are not in contention here because they were recently beaten. I like that. I like that piece of consistency there.
But what drives me nuts is the fact that, all right, so now it's Rhea and Doudrop. What, are the other two just taking a break? And then there was a spot where Doudrop didn't get out of the ring. So she was froze there. She was froze on the ropes and didn't leave. She didn't. I mean, she can't be that hurt. That shit started happening 30 seconds into the match where it was down to two people already. Did they get hurt that bad that they're down for 4 minutes?
Here's the thing, too. I much prefer just give me two matches. Give me, two matches that are qualifying matches and, have me two people wrestle in I guess that's two more people you need, but give me a tournament within a Raw or something, you can do that. And I think you can tell much more compelling stories and not make it all pushed together like this.
We forgot to mention that Riddle defeated The Miz after Miz TV, but Riddle attacked by Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah. What the hell's going on with Tommaso Ciampa?
I don't know, man. He was a rumored fourth member or third member or how many members of Judgment Day, but apparently he's doing his own thing. So I want to see him and Riddle. I think would work a good program. Riddle said he's got his sight on Roman, so we'll see if anything happens with that.
Well, they set that up a few weeks ago with that knee to the face. Yeah. So
we shall see.
Well, we shall see how things are going tomorrow with Linda and Matthew. Linda Kay and Matthew Thomas will be taking over Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. We're going to hear everything from you guys on NXT tomorrow morning. And then we're going to get the results of the AEW Dynamite Battle Royal winner taking on Jon Moxley in the main event of Dynamite to find out who the number one AEW contender is for the interim AEW World Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door.
It's going to be a big news week, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. How different, Meathead, does the landscape look that it does just 1 week ago?
Well, it's a season where you're supposed to be mowing about once a week, so the landscape's always going to be changing.
We've got basically your two top guys in both companies are now out with injuries.
Yep. So here we are. All right. For Matthew Thomas, the man they call Meathead, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you guys with Linda and Matthew tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.